and good evening to you, depending on which part of the world you are now. Welcome all to the virtual event of the UN Science Summit, where today we will address the Space and Sustainability Compact Agreement Initiative and the importance and the future prospects of such partnerships for realizing the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals, including that of food security, healthcare, and education. Before proceeding further, I would like to thank our wonderful convener, Ms. Kim A. Degden, founder and director of Alliance for Collaboration in the Exploration of Space, ACES Worldwide, an organization that is aimed towards strengthening and promoting international space cooperation. We would like to thank Kim for her leadership and dedication that is making this event possible today. Today, also, we have among us a diverse panel of speakers from 8 countries and 4 continents. Our 12 panelists represent various stakeholders, including industry space associations, regulators, lawyers, private companies, civil society organizations, space research communities. Full biographies of everyone involved today can be available in the online program. Today, in this panel, we will discuss the immense potential of the Space and Sustainability Compact Agreements and their importance to realize the relevance of space technology in solving the developmental problems on Earth as contemplated by the Space 2030 agenda. Thus, our discussion in this event today is perfectly aligned with the goals of the UN Science Summit for Action on the Sustainable Development Goals that aims to harness the power of scientific research and innovation to drive progress toward achieving the SDGs. Also, in line with the aim of the UN Science Summit, we hope that this particular panel's discussion will spark further collaboration for use of space technology to further the cause of sustainable development on Earth. The space and sustainability compacts are basically partnerships between space providers and space end users with defined long term and short term goals and objectives. And these non binding agreements are aimed towards achieving one or more of the SDGs. My name is Upasana Dasgupta. I'm a director of ACES Worldwide and a researcher at Laval University, Canada. I have been heading the pilot project of the Space and Sustainability Compact Agreement Initiative in South Asia. The Space and Sustainability Compact Agreement Initiative, or the SSCI as we call it today, was conceptualized by ACES Worldwide. The pilot project in South Asia has already resulted in 3 Space and Sustainability Compact agreements. These agreements on how space applications can be helpful for fisherfolk communities who engage in both fishing and aquaculture, how satellite communications can help in providing education in remote areas, and how interest in space and technology can be ignited in the minds of school children by involving them in the space projects are basically what these space and sustainability compact agreement that we have deal with. The the Science Summit this year has converged, in fact, with the Summit of the Future, which has brought together the world leaders to forge a new international consensus on how we deliver a better present and safeguard the future. And in fact, the Summit of the Future is taking place today also as we are speaking. As the Summit of the Future deals with effective global cooperation as an important mechanism to deliver a better present and future, SS Worldwide is offering a new bottle of forging partnerships for maximum utilization of space sector for societal benefits. We now have Mr. Saradaprasad Namhata, Joint Secretary, Nanritam, a grassroots organization in India that, among other things, works on education for all and for empowering the underprivileged children in India. ACES Worldwide is facilitating through user space applications Nanritam's mission of providing education to children in remote areas. Over to you, Mr. Namhata.
Thank you, Pashna, and thanks to the organizing committee for giving us this opportunity. Thank you all, and and a very warm regards from the remotest, farthest corner of India, Meghalaya. And the first challenge I'm facing is today is having proper internet connection, as you can imagine. So we have, as I was awed listening to all the great uh, policies and technology related opportunities and challenges, we do still have some of those issues of getting proper internet across. So that's one thing will come. Uh, Quick and first, I mean, I was listening to all the great topics, but today our topics will be probably a little bit of different flavor as we are working on the ground on an education area, the education for all. Today's world, as we all know, having two tremendous dynamics. There are many dynamics. There are two tremendous dynamics. On one side, the technology and the other things like AI, the data science, and moving in a tremendous speed on the one side. Another side, the inequality in the society is also moving very fast. The one thing that actually staying in this widening gulf is learning poverty and educational inadequacy. In fact, if we have to resolve the problem of the future world, the sustainable world, somehow providing the education, the technological knowledge, and all to the huge growing population and the demographic dividend and empowering them with that knowledge is a critical task of for the next sustainability part of this world. In fact, the SDG 4 is practically the education is on the critical goal of that sustainability charter that UN has put for 2030. Here is on the slide, I mean, just quick statistics. We all know that one-fifth of the global children population do not have access to education. This is one. Moreover, more than half of all children and adolescents worldwide are not meeting even the minimum proficiency standards of reading and mathematics and reading. The foundational literacy and numeracy. The story is exactly the same also for India. 60% India in the rural area, the foundational literacy numeracy is a huge challenge. And that's a global challenge too. The other part of this educational one policy suggestion is, and it's a great suggestion, that we have to increase the supply of qualified teachers, including through international cooperation for teacher training in developing countries, so that this quality knowledge can proliferate to address the challenge that we are talking about. Our program is essentially exactly trying to do the same, following that perspective. What we're trying to do is essentially trying to provide that very high level and international level world class knowledge to the hands of the community educators who are absolutely rooted at the very remotest corner and touching each children every day to provide some education. Just like now, I'm in Meghalaya in the remote corners. 2 weeks ago, I was in Ladakh, and 3 weeks ago, I was back in Arunachal. All these areas bringing this very high quality education that is we often take to be granted in our metro city schools, bringing that high level education to the hand of these educators so that they can bring that education back to these remote children, so that this rapid solution can be developed from the community for the community and addressing this very important issue that has been identified in SDG 4. So what we are doing, essentially, we are trying to connect, I would say, a challenging job from one angle of the highest level of education, the best quality education possible, and taking it that to the remotest corner, to the children who are in a remotest school, even sometime not even in a school, maybe under the tree or in other schools. So what we are doing, what we have started a program exactly reflecting that policy thought, that how to bring the international level education to the remotest part by empowering others. So what we did, actually during the COVID time, it kind of intensified. We actually have a full research collaborative team with the global experts from Finland, from India, from different parts, who continuously do this research, creating this world-class content, contextualizing this for India's remote requirement, We're implementing them in schools. We're perfecting them and optimizing them. And that's a continuous research where the international level pedagogy and content are being created by the international experts. We're creating that, and then we are bringing that to this remote teachers in by clusters. So sometime we are getting 1,000 teachers at a time, 300 teachers at a time, and we are bringing this world class knowledge, this pedagogy and content in their hand by doing both in-person workshop as well as online workshop. Of course, when it's come to online workshop, the whole space technology, the internet, everything comes into play. Beside that, we're also doing that. We're also created the EdTech platform by our own people, by indigenous, including even the students who are learning the codings and all. And we are integrating the knowledge that is being created by these international experts, converting them for a very user-friendly, easily accessible, easily usable EdTech platform created again from grassroots. So we have two sets of knowledge. One is international level of pedagogy and content. We're training them, empowering the teachers with them, both in-person workshop as well as continuous online and online handholding, where again, of course, tremendously space technology, or we are taking benefit of it. And then we have captured that in terms of technology, in terms of EdTech platform, we are enabling and empowering our those teachers with those tools. And they are then taking it and cascading it down to the remotest corner. So that is the overall process, and it is working great. We have already done almost 3,000 teachers in 2.5 years, almost reached 80,000 students, and it is going on. So this is that where we have already taken benefit. Now, where further the space technology can help us. I would be a little bit more imaginative here. We all heard that, of course, we know how it can be utilized, how it can send signals and do stuff. What I'm suggesting that we are already doing a part of it. But rather than top down, all these new technologies as we are doing here, we have created this kind of tools, technology prepared. I'm sure there are a lot of others across the globe are creating this kind of cost-effective, affordable, different type of technologies. We are expecting that if space technology can be further utilized to integrate, harness all these different tools that is coming on the horizon, the different parts of the world, if we could harness them, integrating them and utilizing AI and all based on that harness knowledge, if we could then cycle that back, utilizing AI, further enriching each of these programs, each of these knowledge tools that has been created for further scaling up and further uh, momentum building. On the other side, we would also like to see that, as I was saying, enabling with giving the proper access, making more internet availability. At the same time, as we will be practicing it, there will be a tremendous amount of knowledge and learning that will be acquired at the ground level. The students will be doing differently. How do we now, I call it experience, which is essentially data. How do we take that data, that intelligence, bring it back into the overall platform and further churn it, and entirely we will continue to basically enrich and empower the entire system so that we can really build a fast and further momentum across the globe. I think space technology can do it, and we have to be a bit imaginative. How do we connect, how it harness, how it integrate and build that on? Because challenge is huge. Almost in India itself, 400 million people will come to the working age without the knowledge that the modern world needs them to be productive. So that's all I had to share with you, where we started, how we are reflecting the policy measure that has been identified under SDG 4, and how in our own humble way we're trying to develop a working model which is working fantastic. We're happy to see the same work that a metro city school children can do, same thing kids, the girl in Ladakh or a boy in Meghalaya or some other parts are able to do. That we have seen. We have seen a tremendous result of it. Now we are expecting to get even more to further support so that we can scale it up and implement it even better. Thank you very much. That's all I had.